The security and protections that are shown in this video are in place at the time this video was made. Google is always innovating new ways to secure and protect its customers' data. Inside of a Google data center, there are thousands upon thousands of machines carrying out the business of Google and its customers. Whether it's a search on Google.com or an e-commerce transaction through Google Checkout, or working with business data in Google Apps, they're all served through these machines. The machines are custom built by Google to their own specifications. Google builds thousands of servers every year, but all of them are built exclusively to run in these data centers. They're not sold or distributed externally. The machines run a specialized, stripped-down version of the Linux operating system, again to Google's own specification. Only the necessary operating system services and hardware are installed. Access to Google data centers is tightly controlled. It's in Google's policy not to allow public tours or site visits, and even Google employee access is restricted. Cars and trucks cannot gain access to the facility grounds until they've been verified and allowed to enter the facility. All vehicle access to the data center is controlled by a restricted barrier. Security fencing around the perimeter helps ensure that all authorized access occurs through this guard station. Google data centers are watched by a comprehensive set of video monitoring cameras, and we can see several of them as we drive into the facility. Once granted access to the facility, authorized personnel must check in at a reception area, such as the one shown here. Access throughout the facility is controlled by badges that use a special lenticular printing mechanism that makes it especially difficult to copy or forge. Access logs are automatically scanned to make sure that anyone who entered an area also left it. Some of Google's data centers utilize biometric devices, such as iris cameras, to verify identity. Although we are inside the facility, we're still not yet on the data center floor. This part of the facility is basically a traditional Google office. The business required to run the data center is mostly conducted. One of the most important elements of the machines that Google builds are the hard drives, especially for Google Apps customers, as this is where we store their business data, stored in multiple locations to help ensure reliability. The files that store the data are given random file names. Google rigorously tracks its location and status. When a hard drive fails or begins to exhibit performance problems, it's brought to this area, where it's reformatted and retested. Data remains on it. The data override is then verified with a complete disk read. This process helps ensure that there's no trace of customer data remaining on the hard drive. For hard drives that have reached the end of their life, Google has a destruction process that is designed to further ensure that none of the data on that drive can ever be accessed. The drives are destroyed in a multi-step process. One device that is used to destroy old hard drives is known as the crusher, and is shown here. A steel piston is pushed through the center of the drive, and the platters are deformed, making them unreadable. Another step in the process is the drive shredder, shown here. As you can see, no one will be likely to get any of Google's customers' data from these drives. After the crushing process, the remains are sent to recycling centers. Google maintains an extra backup of the data in the data center that is stored on these tapes, shown here. The data center is constantly monitored by personnel using sophisticated video equipment. This monitoring station allows the security team to view video feeds from many areas in the data center. In addition to the manual monitoring of the video feeds, Google utilizes video analytics that are designed to automatically detect anomalies in the video and alert security staff to investigate further. Some Google data centers are also equipped with sophisticated thermal imaging cameras that can identify potential intruders at the perimeter or within the grounds of the facility using heat signatures. This allows the security staff to effectively monitor the perimeter and grounds during the day and night, relationships with local law enforcement, and should the need arise, they can be called on site. Google data sustainability and energy efficiency. This is central to Google's commitment to being a carbon-neutral company. In 2009, Google announced that its data centers currently met energy efficiency levels that the U.S. Environmental Replication and Storage, Hard Drive Lifecycle Management, and Fire Detection and Suppression.